Hey, welcome to Wait a Minute. My videos, my thoughts, and I'm sharing them with you. Hey, I was thinking about something way in my past, and it just kind of rolled into this video. We used to be mad, crazy fishermen. Not like the fishermen you see today, okay? Fishermen like we were kids. You know, almost Tom Sawyer-ish. There's a little place down by our little creek that had some broken rocks that had come off the old bridge and stuff, and so there was these big rocks, and we'd always say we're going fishing on the rocks, we're going fishing by the rocks, we're going to the rocks, and just big concrete pieces, but underneath that were these little, you could drop your line in these little holes and catch fish underneath the rocks. You could also cast into the water, and you could stand up on the bridge and look down at the water and watch fish go by and things like that. Every once in a while some huge fish would go by and we'd go, oh, let's go catch it. Because it was just full of life. I mean, that creek during the season, there was seasonal there. During the season, it was just teeming with life. In the spring and first part of summer, just amazing. But as the summer went on, things would, the flow would slow way down, and the basic look of it's not moving like it was before. And then that's followed usually by, a lot of green stuff forming on top of the creek, and it's a small river. It is a creek, but it's a small river. Anyway, and the more slow it got, then it started becoming stagnant, and all of a sudden, what once was teeming with life, that you could see, it was clear, you could see that it was teeming with life, isn't anymore. And you could fish during that time, but if you did, you'd probably just catch a sucker or something. I mean, I don't know do you call it that anymore? We did. Anyway, dirty fish. Maybe a carp, whatever. Maybe a carp is a sucker. I don't know. I told you we were kid fishermen. Not that I'm a fisherman now. But I know everybody that I know that's watching this that are fishermen are like, oh, wait, come on. You guys know because you care. I don't. Anyways, the story is, I'm trying to tell you, is that, once it got into the dry season, then it would slow way, way down. And eventually, by the end of the dry season, it's just stagnant, dirty, nasty water with very little life that you could see in it. Couldn't catch any fish, couldn't catch turtles, we love turtles. Anyway, couldn't catch any of that stuff because it just wasn't, things changed. As the season went on, it got dry and things and there's about every once in a while the water would rise because of a storm or whatever. And then when it started going down after that, there'd be this big pool of water, maybe a foot deep or something like that. Sometimes fish would get caught in there, and we'd be like, hey, there's fish and it's alive, so we'd try to feed it and stuff. But eventually the water would dry up in those holes, and that fish would die, obviously, because there's no water. So even with a reprieve here and there, it was just washing the fish into a mud hole that's going to die in anyway, which is really, must be frustrating for the fish. Yay, I got this new, So, I don't know, I'm saying this to say this. I noticed that, in the Christian life for sure, but also in just everyday general life, we have those kind of seasons, I was just talking to a buddy of mine, and he was saying that, ups and downs when I asked him how he was doing. And I don't know exactly what he's talking about because I know him, number one, and also because every one of us in some ways feel that same thing, ups and downs, and there's seasons, sometimes you're going through a bad season and it's tough. But then there's going to be another season, Sometimes when you're going through the bad season, you get oh man, this looks great. Oh, just in a pothole where I'm going to die anyway. It can be just real hurtful when you think you're going to get out of the whatever, and then it's just an extension of the whatever, and you're still going to struggle, But then when the rainy season comes, everything's alive again, and there's so much, just everywhere you look, there's something good, there's something interesting, there's something fresh, and that's awesome. But again, that's when you don't take into consideration that there's going to be a dry season at the end, that you got to work through that to get back to the the spring again. And oh man, I'm stuck in traffic. Sorry. So when you're going through the rainy season and everything's alive and everything's great, sometimes we get spoiled for that. Sometimes we don't realize that, like we forget, it was bad and then it got good, and while we're going through the good stuff, we're like grooving along. Yeah, look at us, we're doing this fun thing, and life is great, and fill in the blank here for whether you're a boy or a girl, but hey man, I got a girlfriend, I'm doing really great, I got a girlfriend, I'm happy, and we're doing things, and we got a little bit of extra money, and we're doing blah 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 blah, and then the girlfriend breaks up with you, or you break up with the girlfriend, whatever, you have a falling out, and she's gone, and the money's run out, and you don't have a place to go because it was her house she lived in, or whatever the dealio is, and the next thing you're going through a really dry season, and everything that was alive has either gone away or dried up. And to me, this makes 100% sense. I hope some of you people get that as well. It's not like every dry season is terrible, but you get kind of numb during some of it. You get grumpy and depressed, and it's hard sometimes to be what you need to be. You know what I'm saying? There's moments when you're trying really hard to be cheerful and whatever, and you're in the dry season. How are you going to be cheerful? Well, pretty soon it almost feels like you're faking, unless you focus on the positive. Focus on how alive things were just now, and how that they're going to be alive again in a little bit. Everything in life that happens is it's a moment. And moments can be longer than the other. I'm not talking about a minute. I'm talking about moments. It's just a moment in time. It's just a piece of time, and most things that happen to us are just a moment. And when you get through that moment, you realize, that wasn't so bad. That didn't last near as long as I thought it would, or something like that. Sometimes during the difficult times, we have, something in our psyche, something in our soul, something I think this is a natural thing that God gave us, is there's like a numbing agent while we're going through the rough times. Sometimes it's, we kind of become numb and we don't feel as, severe or acute as some pain could be. I'm saying that because it's like when I go to the pain clinic, I know they're going to give me 2 spinal taps and a shot in my arm. I know that's going to happen. But the thing is before they do that, they give me some good stuff to make me unaware or numb, and I forget completely that it even happened. It's pretty cool. But we get that in our own lives. That's just a spiritual thing too. There's, everything that happened that was bad to us would be like a major, dramatic, incredibly rotten thing if it wasn't for the fact that, it kind of gets glossed over with, lidocaine or we get some anesthesia from whatever the thing is. It gets better, and then it helps us get through the thing. And then when I'm at the pain clinic, a lot of times I'll wake up and I'll be like, you mean that's it? Did you already do it? It's like the first question out of your head is, are you really done? Because they'll tell me to get up off the table when they're getting me awake, pull me out of it. And I know this because I've been told. I always say the same thing. I always say, you're finished already? Did you finish? Did you do it? Because, 1 minute you're there and the next minute you're out, but you don't know it. And then they call you and say, hey, it's time to get up. And when they say that, you're like, wait, Anyway, I said all that to say, stagnant is never good. Dried up is never good. But we do our best to get through it. We do our best to, we know that there's going to be a new season. We know it's just a season that we're going through. It's going to get better. And it always does. I mean, like I said, I'm 55 years old, so it's not like my first day here. And I can tell you that in my life, as I'm sure a lot of you can if you focus on it, you've had good things and bad things. And every time there's a bad thing, you think it's the end of the world. And guess what? It's not. Because in a little bit, along comes some more, the wet season where everything's green and everything's teeming with life. It's those times we live for. The tough times, we need to learn from them, we need to grow through them, but we have to know that we're actually going to get through it because there's going to be a wet season again. So, God bless you in your dry season. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye.